that older obedience, guidance that is leading you, make sure it's for you. Don't just follow to be following. Or don't just take advice and run with it. You have to take that advice, that counsel, that direction, even if it comes from the ancestors, your dreams, your visions, whatever it is, you take that and make sure it is peace within your spirit, within your mind and body and the universe. Everybody is in tune, in oneness. Don't just take what is given, whether it's a dream, a vision, or whatever, or a counselor, a guide, or a tarot reading, or whatever. Don't just take things and run with it. You take it and you take it within your spirit and you pray about it. You take it to God and see if it's for you. Because it's a lot of us in this world. But the advice, the direction may not be for all of us at one time, because we are all on different levels, different positions, different places, different things going on in our lives. So what may be said to one person may not be for you. So you find out where you fit in with the direction, the counsel that is being given. Because your leader, the person that you're honoring and accepting, they may be following the direction of what's being given to them. But once it's given to you, you take it and you go find out if it's registering and if it's in oneness with you and your spirit, your creator. So you could take off and go. So finally Isaac asked, I see the fire, I see the wood, where's the lamb? So Abraham said, because Abraham the older, he knows something. He know his son ain't finna die. He know, but he don't know how what's gonna happen, but he being obedient and following his heart. He's older, so he know God some kind of way coming through. Oh, God will provide the sacrificial lamb. Oh, God will provide. Yeah, I know God ain't finna have me burn my son. The older knows something. But what that older told that younger, I wouldn't want it to rest on that information. You didn't give me a specific answer. So if you're still following the direction of a leader, you still have questions. You keep following and still keep that peace. If you agreeing with your leader, okay, I agree with you. God will provide these sacrificial lambs. So let's keep going. So he got the peace. So now, and then he said, and Abraham said to my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both with them together. So obviously Isaac still feeling the peace to still follow the leader to his sacrifice. And they came to the place which God had told him and built an altar there. So finally they got to the place that God said, this is the place. And they laid down the wood, and here Isaac still helping him lay down the wood and bound Isaac, his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. Now all this time, I know Isaac got to be saying, what the fuck? What's really going on? Forgive me, Father. How you going to keep following somebody? How you going to do that? Is that all the questions you, are you that faithful and loyal and committed to your own death? That is not the loyalty that leads up to evolution, to growth. You are following something that you done gave your own life over to. We are not to give our life over to nothing and no one. You are a God. You are a creator. You are a heavenly, divine being to be able to create your own life. directions and guidance of somebody else, of your own mind, of your something. You didn't take it nowhere to question it to your spirit, to God, but something in here is not right. But here you are laying down, being stuck, strapped up for your own burning of your life. Is that all you're going to ask? You're not going to pray? And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Here now Abraham sitting here, you done allow somebody to tie you down. You sitting there watching them with the knife finna cut your throat and finna set you on fire. You letting them do this. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. Here go Abraham saying, here am I. Abraham knew a rescue was coming. He knew. But that younger, you didn't know. You just sitting there following, trusting that leadership. You didn't trust your own spirit, intuition. You're trusting that leadership. You better take that direction of that leadership and make sure that this is where you're supposed to be. That this is the direction, the guidance and leadership you're supposed to be following. Because it could be that direction could be leading you to your own slaughter. Yes, it may be a divine guidance for that leader, but it may not be for you. So Abraham said, here am I. And he said, lay not your hand upon your son, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest God. So that was a test for Abraham to see about his obedience. That's why the older men are quickly to say, here am I. Yes, yes, we say yes. Because we know that everything is a test. And we know through every test is coming great reward, great abundance, great higher levels. That's why we're quick to say yes to everything of life, and we turn it into a test. We say yes and turn it into a test because there are rewards. Nothing is in vain. He said, I know that thou fearest God, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only son, from me. So Abraham proved that I'll kill my son if that's what you want me to do. If Abraham following his son, then if you telling me to kill my only son, then that's what I'll do. But I know you going to provide a lamb. But there ain't nothing showed up yet. It's about to fire. You about to cut your son's throat. But he was willing to follow the obedience to all the way to that point. And I guess Isaac was loyal to the obedience of his father, of his leader, to the point of death as well. But I don't want to be loyal to the following of a man to death. I'm not going to let somebody lead me. I'm going to help them light my fire to burn me. Unless I know in my spirit, God leading me to do this, not that man's direction. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. God always show up. There is always a ram in the bush. That's why don't hesitate to follow your heart. And when it seemed like you did something wrong, or it seemed like it's not going to be provided for, or it seemed like you made the wrong direction, oh, trust me, there's always a ram in the bush. God, if you know you follow your spirit, your intuition, your heart, your direction of what God is telling you, you will not be let down. God always has rams in the bush. He knows how to direct you back to the correct path. Now I want to talk about the ram. I done talked about Isaac, how Isaac is so loyal to his very own death of the following another person, another thing, another his own mind. You're going to follow it to death, to your own sacrifice. It could be, that might be the wrong, you're following something that's going to burn you up. Better take it and get clarity and get peace with your spirit, with God, and make sure that whoever and whatever you're following, that's the direction for you. They may be following a God direction, but you better make sure their God direction is your God direction. So now we're going to go to the ram in the bush. So Abraham didn't have to sacrifice his son because God told him, look behind you. There's a ram stuck in the bush by the horns. Now I want to talk about this ram and those horns. Let me see if I finish reading it. A ram caught in the thicket by its horns. So that ram is caught in some thorns and things. He caught in some thickets. And that sounds like sandspurs. That sounds like something that's going to stick you. But whatever it is, he caught by the horns. And I just found out that a ram is a male sheep. I didn't know that a ram was a male sheep. But because a sheep is a follower. A sheep will follow something to its death. A sheep don't have a mind of its own. They just follow the blind leading the blind. They'll follow and go right down the ditch, right along with it. That's a sheep. That could be the personality of what Isaac was doing. Abraham's son. Abraham's son was being a sheep, following the shepherd, a leader, just a pack, following each other, and they all could be leading each other over a hill, and you seeing them falling over the hill, but a sheep gonna keep going and fall right on behind them over the hill. You steady being you steady following a pack. You see them being slaughtered, and you follow right along and keep going. That's a sheep. That's what Isaac was doing. So now, the ram is a male sheep, and it's caught by the horns. And I was looking up what the spiritual meaning of ram means. Ram is strong, confident, ready to take action, ready to, fire energy, intellectual, ideas, creative. That's a ram. They'll move things out their way to get to where they're going. That's a ram. But the horns symbolizes mental evolution. And this is where God is speaking to the ram. So we got the older, we got the younger, and we got the ones that's in the spirit of the ram on that level. You know how to push and get things done. You know how to create and energy and motivation and life. You're confident, secure. But something has you stuck. And that's your mental evolution. The reason you're stuck, you're finding yourself not being able to make quick decisions like you used to. You're finding yourself following a leader, having somebody control your life, when that didn't used to be you. You're finding yourself stuck by the mental evolution, the horns. You're tangled up with your mind. You're not making quick decisions like you used to. You're finding yourself in the control of somebody or something else, or even in the control of your own mind. you're stuck on your mental evolution. And the reason you're stuck is because you're not mixing it with the spirit. You're not taking what you're doing with your spirit, with the Most High, the Creator, your intuition. You're starting to want to do something with your mind, but your spirit is wanting to do something else. Can we realize that we are a three-part being? That mind sometimes wants to do some things. The spirit sometimes wants to do some things. And this body sometimes wants to do some things. And we have got to get all three in tune so we can become mature, whole, and grow up into other levels of this life and get out of the mundane, stuck, lower levels, because this is the fifth dimension, Aquarius age, where God is in our presence. And how is he in our presence? Within our vessels, within our bodies. So that means the mind, the spirits, and the bodies, they are growing up into mature men, beings, deities, gods. God is raising us up as men of God, mature, deity, divine vessels. Because the presence of the Creator of God is in our midst. And the way he's in our midst is through us. So he's bringing about ways that is going to evolve our growth mentally, spiritually, physically. So those that are the rams that's stuck in the thickets, the reason you're stuck is because you're trying to do so much only on your mind. You don't pray about anything. You don't seek counsel. You don't seek spiritual wisdom. You have nothing to do with the spirit. We're not telling you to all of a sudden become a guru or this or that, or become holier than thou. No, but you're going to have to learn to balance the mental with spiritual, the mental with something else. You have something else, a soul, a spirit in you, not just the brain. We are a three-part being: spirit, soul, and body. That soul is the mind. We can only function alone on our minds. To become a full, complete, whole, divine being, we have to bring all three into oneness. Mind, soul, your spirit, intuition, and your body, physical. Spirit, mind, and body all got to be one so we can be God here on earth. Heaven here on earth. It's the fifth dimension. The ram is stuck in the mental evolution. And the reason you're stuck is because you're not mixing it with spiritual. You're only looking at you're only looking at life through through what you see. You have got to go past what you see and go within. There's more to life than this 3D, than this realm we're living in. We're in the 5D, the fifth dimension. a spiritual realm. And they have got to blend in together. They have got to become one. So God is getting ready to cut loose. It's not getting ready. It's happening as we speak. Cutting the ram, getting the ram out of the stuckness. You're going to find yourself, when you do get cut loose, you finna charge. Now you're charging with a clarity. You're charging with a focused direction, because you've been sharpening your tools. While you have been stuck, your skill still has been sharpening. You still was developing your plans, but something was confusing you. Something in your life was stopping you from making moves. But now you're being cut loose, cut free from the things that are things, places, people that were holding you back. That is being cut loose. The ram is being set free to join in with the Spirit, to become one with your spirit. You're being set free to go forward with the Spirit involved. This is a harmonious venture, a harmonious coming together. Let's see if there's any more regarding the ram. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the name of that place Jehovah Jireh. As it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. Jehovah Jireh meaning God, my provider. So, God is providing provision. God is providing a cutting, a separating. Things are going to be cut off your life that is in the way of you making your progress. But once you're being cut loose from whatever has been holding you back, you're also going to be coming out with a new reasoning. Not only from the mind, you're going to be joining in your spirit along with your mind. So you're going to be set free to go in that direction of your heart, your spirit, as you're logically including that with it. You're not being set free to go get wrapped up and caught back up in some thickets. No, you're going to be set free, or you may stay stuck until you're ready to be set free regarding following the direction of your heart, not of someone else's, but of your own spirit, your own intuition. And until you get to that point, that is when you will be set free. So, but I'm letting you know now, it is happening now. So, get into the practice of finding out from your own spirit to become that one whole, complete, older in the spiritual realm, older in spiritual matters, evolving into the full deity that we are. So God can show up on this earth as he is. Heaven on earth. We are that heaven. So let us evolve mentally, spiritually, and physically within our bodies. Those are the three levels. The ram that's stuck because of your mental. You're stopping your mental evolution because you won't combine it with your spirit. But it's happening now where you're being set free. So some of us are coming out awakened. We had a great awakening to things of the spirit now. Everybody have their own way of communicating with the spirit. I don't know how you go about communicating. I communicate with any and everything. with mine. So how do you go about communicating with your spiritual realm, your creator, the universe? Come out of that stuckness. And then we got the second level, which is Isaac. Stop following a leader that could be leading you to your own slaughter. Stop being a sheep being led to your own slaughter. And start asking questions. For one, ask questions within your spirit and to your God. Is this for me? Is this direction for me? Don't just go and follow and you might be following to your death. And then the older men, we quick to say, I am. Here I am. Let us stay quick to say, here I am. And let us know that every step we take, even though we may take them in fear, there will be a lamp shine on our steps. Every step that we take, there is a lamp to our feet and a light to our path. So let us evolve to the old man, grow up in the spiritual matters, the completeness, so we can become one whole divine being, God here on earth. The fifth dimension, the outpouring, the great awakening. But anyway, that's the message. Ram in the bush. And I do thank you, and I pray that all of us that do have ears to hear, we will hear. And we will follow, and we will take heed and do what we need to do. So let us go forward in the spirit of the ram as old adult spiritual beings, gods here on this earth. I love you. Have a good day.